this mic on. Time to get my mic on. You know what I'm saying? We in here, man. We is in here. Lovely, lovely. All right, greetings all, and welcome back to another episode of What's a reborG podcast. I am that guy reborG, and here to hit you off with some nice life commentary on all facets: sports, entertainment, movies, film, life, dating, medicine, whatever you want, man. But today, y'all saw the title. That's a lot of shit that happened in the week. Cause I did the last episode last week. That might be the most moist thing I've probably ever done on camera. I just put my hair behind my ear like a sissy. Ew. But how's everybody doing? I hope you're enjoying your week. I just recorded last week, and you figure in a week and 2 days, so much shit has happened. Like, the fuck? Like, like I'm not on social media, but I'm, I get the gist of all that shit. Because, it's everywhere. A lot of shit is going down. Got to support the squad. Ride or die whenever win, lose, or draw. I'm a Raider for life. So let's go ahead and dive into that bullshit first. Okay. When it first came out, I want to say it was Friday. Sometime last week it came out before the game. And they said he had like a racist remark and he had some derogatory things he said about Roger Goodell. My first thought was, oh, this isn't it. They have more. If you're a shit talker and you talk about people, because I'm a shit talker and I talk about people, sometimes in the derogatory sense, sometimes in the bad sense. Sometimes I may say whatever. Let me go ahead and introduce the co-pilots. We got the wine. Nice little Roscato, little white, that's cool. And we got that water. But I've said some shit. I've called people bitch ass niggas and all that stuff. So I know, I already know. Like if I was to blow up and make it as like an actor or a comedian or a writer or whatever the fuck it is, I already know I'm gonna get canceled. I'm already prepared for it. Because you may silence the platform in which I can say the shit, but you're not going to stop me from saying it. Nah. And if I feel that way, a white man definitely feels that way. That's why I innately knew, oh, it's more. And by the time yesterday came around, and when I saw maybe a couple of hours before he got let go, because he got let go during the game, the Monday night game. Yeah, Ken. I know. And let me tell you this right now. Not shocked at all. And this year in 2021, if you're past a certain age, a white man saying some out of line shit, come on, man. That's not surprising. I'm not surprising that he said something racial. I'm not surprising that he said something derogatory towards the LGBTQ community. I'm not surprised he said something demeaning to women. Come on now. Because with me, if I could say the shit and I don't even have as much privilege as he does, oh yeah, he did. Come on now. Come on, man. It was only a moment of time. At this point, most of us, especially the black people, we shouldn't be shocked by this shit by now, man. An old white man saying something racist? Especially in a career field where your livelihood is based on black people. If you're an NFL coach, come on, man, you need these bros. Of course, you have a few white players, but the majority of your players, 90% are bros. So it's not surprising at all. The funny thing was how everybody came and supported him. Current players, former players, other coaches, other commentators working at other places. What did y'all think that was going to mean? Some shit? Did y'all think that was going to keep him from getting fired? Come on, man. Nobody, man. Come on, man. It's John Gruden, man. We can get him the fuck out of here. He's not in no GOAT conversation for coaching. Nobody gives a shit. We don't have to clean this up. We can just fire his ass. And first, I'm speaking as a Raider fan. Good, because it ain't like he did shit. Let's be perfectly honest. When we went to the playoffs in 2016, Del Rio was the coach. Okay. And let's be honest. What the fuck has he done? Let's be completely honest right now. As a fan, whether you're a Raider fan or a football fan, what has he done? The offense has been decent, but the offense was decent beforehand since Carr got there. The year we went to the playoffs, we were 12-4. The offense was ticking. We had 3 offensive linemen. Kalichi, Rodney Hudson, and Donald Penn were Pro Bowlers. Derek Carr, Amari Cooper, and Latavius Murray. 6 Pro Bowlers on offense in 2016. Yeah, we know how it went. He inherited the Bucs, but let's be honest with that too. He was brought in to help an offense that couldn't get over the hump and was causing these teams to lose. So y'all just paid him all this money and did all this shit just so he could put an extra 10 points on the board. And when it came to the Super Bowl, they didn't need it. They didn't need him. It was fucked up that they let Dungy go like that and didn't give him a chance to win his Super Bowl. Because come on, man. I mean, Brad Johnson is a game manager. So let's be honest. I mean, we remember a couple of offensive players that they had. They had Brad Johnson and Michael Pittman, Allstott, Joe Jurevicius, Keenan McCardell. You know, we know a couple of but come on now. The catalyst for that team was the defense. Simeon Rice, Warren Sapp, Derek Brooks, Dexter Jackson, who won the MVP, John Lynch, Rondé Barber. So, like, come on, man. We already knew what it was. So we already know he inherited. Gruden is in the same line as Barry Switzer. He was given the keys to a luxury car, my nigga, like with only 500 miles on it. You're gonna be good. And they just got that one. They was just fortunate enough. and the Super Bowl was just perfect, my nigga. All they had to do was finally get past the NFC Championship, which they had like faltered in for like a couple of years. All they had to do was get past that, and they played us. And the shit that happened with that one, that was crazy. It's a conspiracy theory out there that what happened to us. I don't believe it, but I think it's a hell of a story. So if you want to hear it, I'll let y'all know. I mean, Ken and if y'all want me to tell the story, I can, but I can save it for a future pod thing. But I'll be honest, man. Who gives a fuck? He didn't draft well. He bought in Mike Mayock or Mark May, whatever the fuck his name is. He can't draft either. He stinks. Just get rid of this shit. Because I'll be honest with you. He was already at odds with Al Davis. So I didn't really expect him to last that long with us because he's an A-type personality. So I knew he, clashing with another A-type and Al Davis. So I knew it wouldn't work. And Al is so disrespectful. He traded a coach for draft picks. So, I mean, I don't think it's been done since. So I always thought Gruden was cool. But when they bought him back, I was like, it's too little too late. His prime has passed. He really think he can run shit like it's 2001 and it's going to work the same way. No, it's not. No, it's not. You struck iron with Bill Callahan as the offensive coordinator, and you had such veteran leadership on that offense that everything clicked. Because it wasn't like he developed Jerry Rice and Tim Brown. They were already perennial Pro Bowlers. Jerry Rice is the GOAT among wide receivers. Tim Brown was a multiple Pro Bowler already before he had got there. So, I mean, with Barry Robbins, the center, it was already good players on the team. So it's not like he came in there and changed the whole fold. He just, with Callahan, instilled the offense that worked well with the players that he had. Because Rich Gannon wasn't known as a great quarterback during the time. But I'll be damned if he didn't go out there and pull out some sauce. Rich Gannon was so saucy that Madden had to instill a sidearm throwing motion because he was just so good. Yeah, he was in the booth far too long. I'm gonna tell you that right now. We already knew he was already, it already took too many. After a certain amount of time, we already knew. I already knew if Jimmy Johnson didn't come back and Bill Cowher didn't come back, I definitely won't looking for Gruden to do that. But they threw that bag at him, man. And he took it and he showered us with below mediocrity. And hey, man, hey, all right, man, have a good one. And mark my words, do not be surprised if you see him again on TV. Oh, this should have blown over in a year. Oh, and he will be back. I don't know if it's going to be on ESPN, Fox, CBS, or any other stations that have football up there, probably Fox. But he will be back. Trust me. Mark it down. 10 minutes and 26 seconds in the October the 12th, 2021 podcast. What's a reborG? A lot to talk about. I mean, a lot of things happen. Let's talk about it title. And I'm just guaranteed he's going to be back. Oh, he's going to get another job. And speaking of cancel culture, any of y'all watch the Chappelle special? Yo, man, that dude is killing it, man. I'm enjoying every bit of it, man. Because this is the time that he has definitely gotten his flowers. He was already appreciated. We thought he was funny as shit. A lot of people didn't have him in the GOAT conversation for comedians because they didn't, he only had 2-hour specials out at the time. But now he can get what he gave you like 7. He done gave you 7 specials in the last couple of years. And whenever Dave's name attached to some shit, I'm gonna watch. So I watched it, enjoyed it, knew what was gonna happen. Because I'm telling you right now, it just goes along with most of the things that happen in society nowadays. You can talk about women. And this, when I'm bringing up these examples, isn't that the down talk the next comedian or entertainer? It's just to give you a, just an example. So I've seen comedians talk about women. Bill Burr, one of my favorite comedians of all time. Have you heard the shit he says about women? His monologue on SNL was flagged so bad, and he'll never be canceled. Why? Because his fan base is already that strong, and he's a white guy. The shit that he says about women is crazy. Why it's okay to hit women? That was one bit. He had another bit that told you why being a mother is not the most important job in the world. Because they be saying, and she's a mother, which is one of the most important jobs in the world. He was like, I did roofing in the summer as a redhead. That shit is not harder than putting in DVDs and feeding some kids Cheerios. Like, it's not that hard. So this is the shit he said about women. And I guarantee Bill Burr can still sell out any motherfucking theater that he goes to do comedy. He got passed up. He don't get no shots. But as soon as Dave took it to gay, as soon as he took it to the LGBTQ community, which he has done every special on Netflix since he's been back. First of all, with the viewership and all that other stuff, I want to say that Netflix kind of knew that this was going to be a controversial special because Squid Games blew up the week before it came out. They put out On My Block season 4. It was a lot of shit that they came out with around it so it can, not put all the light on it. Because you figure if some of that stuff doesn't come out, it's the only thing being pushed by Netflix. It would be the number one trending. As soon as you cut on Netflix, it'd be a big picture of Dave and shit like that. But and I'm starting to think people aren't listening to shit. They're not listening to shit. They not. Because he's not degrading anybody. No, he's not. He's just putting the facts out there. It's fact. You cannot argue this shit. You can argue this shit, but you don't have any validity on your side. When he says, yeah, you have a pussy, but it's an impossible pussy, or that's not blood coming out of there, that's beet juice, that's a fact. You're not a born woman. Yeah, they know Netflix already knows what it is. That's why they gave him the bag. And the fact that he's got the bag and that he knows that he can continually get bags for his comedy, that's why he closed it with Netflix. Because if they were willing to give him whatever they paid him, I don't know the amount, who knows what the next person will pass out. They don't give a fuck about these comments because they already know the bag trumps it all. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. That bag trumps all that shit. You want to know why Gruden got fired? Because we won't win it and that bag won't come. We had already took losses. by playing in during the pandemic last year with empty stadiums. So they already lost that bread. So getting rid of him doesn't fuck the money up. So he got to go. With Dave, they already paid him. They good. He can't fuck the money up. But with all this controversy that's coming from the special, that's going to give them the viewership. And man, don't never forget that. If anything else, that bag trumps all that shit. But I'm going to appreciate what the special was. It was informative and funny. I'll take that as it is. I mean, I could understand if somebody may not like it. It's understandable. You know, we all got different, you know, it's all subjective. We all got different and varying opinions. But for me, Dave has taken his comedy to another place, man, where it's intelligently funny. He makes you think, and it's hysterical. I'm just hoping that some of the people that watch are able to catch it. I'm not trying to say I'm advanced or no shit like that, but I do look at shit a little different, you know, from time to time with, you know, with different aspects when I'm watching, you know, my entertainment and shit. And I'm hoping that most of the people that watched it actually got what they, you know, was trying to get some of the messages that he was trying to convey. But hey, he's definitely if you say he's your GOAT, as I always say, I can't argue that. I can't argue Dave as GOAT. He's one of my top 5 comedians, easily. He was number 1 until Patrice O'Neal came along, because Patrice was just a little bit more relatable for me than Dave was. I'm not saying I couldn't relate to Dave at all, because I've been the black nerd in the hood and shit like that, but it was Patrice. Patrice just took it, you know, to another step with the shit. Like, it was even more understanding. He, you know, it's funny to hear and see people have thoughts that you have when they're in like a different position, like when they're famous and shit like that. And you're like, oh shit, you have this, damn, you thought the same shit. Like, cause I felt that with Dave early, but Patrice's shit was sitting so close to home. That's why he's my number 1. And definitely he's surgical with it. You know what's fucked up? Dave, and he's been doing it with these Netflix specials. He gives you the punchline early. He tells you what the punchline is. And he lets you know. He doesn't even tell you, but you hear this, like that one joke he told about, so I kicked her in the pussy, where he goes, that he said the punchline is, so I kicked her in the pussy. Then he goes on the spiel talking about stuff. And when people thought that once they thought that they had forgot all about the shit, once you said, man, he ain't saying nothing about kicking her in the pussy, bam, he hit you. So I kicked her in the pussy, and it was funny as shit. He's been doing this shit subliminally throughout the rest of these specials. He's letting you know what the punchline is. He told you early about don't punch down. And at the end, he bought it right back, man. Man, I'm telling you, man, we're really watching some masterful Michael Jordan type shit, some masterful LeBron, some masterful, we're watching some masterful shit. Roy Jones in 96 type shit. We're really watching some masterful shit if you actually pay attention to comedy, man. And I know it won't be appreciated like it should be for the beautiful artwork and art form that it is. But I want to let you know, Dave, you'll never know. You don't know me. You know, who gives a fuck, man? You rich, you doing your thing. You hang out with most deaf. Like, y'all need, you know, another nigga that's completely off the grid. But, you know, shout out to him, man. I'm going to always support Dave. I even watched that goddamn, what's that shit? A Star is Born with Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga, because Dave was in the shit. It's the only reason I watched that movie. It was a decent movie. It was cool. But the only reason I even gave it a suggestion, was because Dave was up there. Just like, what was the other Bradley Cooper movie? Silver Linings Playbook. That shit had Chris Tucker in it. So I'm on peep it, because I think Chris Tucker is a talented motherfucker. And speaking of comedians, did y'all watch the All the Smoke episode with Kevin Hart? It was a good episode. I appreciate that. It was a good episode. But one thing I'm starting to think is maybe that car accident he had, he got fucked up. Because anytime a car accident happens, shit is fucked up. Even if you're not fucked up, the car's fucked up, and the shit that you got to go through to either get it fixed or get another one is fucking hell. So I can't even picture if you have injuries. But I really think that car accident really fucked him up because he's real serious now and real introspective and stuff like that. Like he does have a joke here and there, but he only had like 3 laughs during that whole episode. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I'm just, just really took notice on how, just how his demeanor has changed. And I don't knock the dude for it. I mean, hey, we all been through. I mean, when you see people going through life-changing shit like that, you never know. Because it was just totally different from, others. I've seen other comedians go through like horrible shit like that. Like Richard Pryor, he had a heart attack one special. And the fact that he went on stage and had me, that's crazy, man. That's a lot of people who say that Richard don't hold up nowadays, and y'all full of shit because he's telling jokes mainly from his own perspective. How can you say that this shit doesn't hold up when there's only one person who did it? He had me crying, laughing, talk about the process he went through having a heart attack. Like he was in the pool with his kids, he had a heart attack and he is dying. And because he's a comedian, he said his kids think everything that he do is funny. So they thought he was just playing in the pool when he's literally dying. Then he's talking about how he got up to heaven and he was trying to talk to God and the angel put him on hold and he thought he was in the wrong heaven because they was playing white people's music in the lobby. Like, come on, man, get the fuck out of here. What do you mean that don't hold up? This man had a joke about setting himself on fire, my nigga. So, I mean, we know comedians that have been through some tragedy. Remember when Tracy Morgan got back, when he was finally healthy and out there, and he kept talking about when he was on Jimmy Fallon, unfunny, fuck him, and he was talking about shit that was going on. He said Donald Trump was leading in the polls. Man, I'm going back in the coma. Like it was everything that was happening. Everything that was happening in the world, he just didn't like. He was like, man, the Knicks still ain't good. Man, I'm going back in the coma, man. Like. But shout out to Kev. Y'all go ahead and check out the episode. I mean, I'm warning you now, if you're watching that All the Smoke episode for some laughs, they ain't there, my nigga. I'm sorry. Like, those laughs are not there, my dude. I'm sorry. I cannot. Boy, I wouldn't even lead y'all that way. Man, they talking, boy. They talking, boy. In college football, I have to give a goddamn fuck. I watched the Oklahoma-Texas game, and Texas was whooping that ass at halftime. And by the fourth quarter, they let Oklahoma come back because Texas did one of, when you get up, when you're ahead of a team and you play that soft-ass coverage defense, but you just don't let no shit over the top happen. You just watch it all in front. They did that offensively by crippling their offense by just running. They should have kept their foot on the gas and they should have kept going and scored 60. Because if they would have kept their foot on the gas and kept running that fast-paced offense, there's no possible way Oklahoma was able to keep up. You fucked up. You ran the ball too much when you should have been trying to beat the shit out of them. Don't worry about a win. Beat the shit out of them because you've been losing to Oklahoma for a couple of years now, man. That was real disappointing. Them dumbass stories coming out about Spencer Rattler, who's the starting quarterback for Oklahoma, not looking all rah-rah and happy that the team had won because he lost his job. Okay, it's hard for me to celebrate another person. I'm literally watching somebody take my job. I don't know how happy you want me to be about that, but I mean, I don't have nothing against the dude. And this is like a 20-year-old. This is a 20-year-old man. He's young. He hasn't experienced shit like this. You gotta remember, he's a 5-star quarterback. Spencer Rattler probably been the man his whole life, from 6 to 20. 14 years of being the shit. And you slowly get to watch somebody take your spot. The fuck? Hell no, he ain't supposed to be happy about that shit, man. Cut that goofy shit out. Michigan State still winning, man. I mean, if y'all watch college football, watch out for Michigan State. God damn. Michigan undefeated too, but you know what's fucked up. And this is just a college football thing. Well, kind of like college sports. It doesn't really matter what the fuck you do. If you don't beat your rival, people really don't give a fuck. Yo. They do not really care what the fuck you got going on. You know how many coaches that have been through Michigan in the last 15 years, ever since Lloyd Carr left? Man, they can't beat Ohio State, man, so they just don't give a fuck. Even with Auburn beating Alabama that one year they went to the chip, it really don't fucking matter. If you 2-10 versus Nick Saban, sorry, man, your ass getting the fuck out of here, man. Auburn been going through some coaches. They on one now. They just got a new one this year. And Bama lost. Wow, that shit was crazy. Part of the reason they started out slow on offense, man, I'm telling you right now, Bill O'Brien will never be able to catch a break in this coaching world. One, because he has a history of fucking up. Two, he has a history of fucking up. Like, we saw what he did with the Texans. And then we saw that shit show that happened because between him and the owner, it was clear to see that y'all didn't want to win. Man, they had a series. Bama had a series where they went in the goal line and they passed the ball 3 times. And all former Bama players, Mark Ingram leading the charge, was talking about how he said Coach Saban ain't never been in the red zone and that ran the ball that one time. They was calling for Bill O'Brien's job right then, man. Yo, you can't be fucking up in Bama, man. You can't. When it comes to these big schools, these winning schools, yo, man, you can't be fucking up, man. Like, you really can't. Like Ryan Day, they gave him a pass a couple weeks ago when he lost to Oregon. Said, you'll be all right. You cool. You took a loss. You know, we could take one loss and still make the playoffs. But I'll tell you this shit right now. You better not lose to fucking Michigan. I know that. Because I just saw this shit the other day. I was watching a Football Life with Charles Woodson. And he was talking about his sophomore year, how Ohio State was undefeated. And they were getting, if they had beat Michigan that game, they were going to play the national championship in the Rose Bowl. Now today, Woodson went out there and fucked them up, got 2 picks and all that shit. Like, fucked up the whole season, man. So that the college is just crazy like that. First of all, you can't lose. One loss and shit is looking like it's bad. Like, one loss and the season is damn near a wash. At least they got the playoffs now. Because, man, it was a time, man. And sometimes it's crazy. Some teams that can go undefeated still don't get a chance to do shit. Like, Boise State missed a lot of their opportunities to be a national power because they didn't get the respect that they deserved. And it won't like they was going into bowl games losing. They done won more BCS bowl games than fucking Oklahoma, who continually goes out there and get their ass whooped. But, you know, they missed the charge on that one. North Carolina stinks. Florida State whooped that ass. That shit crazy. That's just, nobody expected North Carolina to be this bad. Well, they didn't expect Miami to be this bad either. But man, that's crazy. The ACC is trash this year, like real trash. Man, it might be the worst amongst all the big conferences. Ew. I always thought it was a mistake that Miami went there in the first place. We had no business going in there helping out these motherfucking mediocre ass conferences. If we coming in there, we making your shit better. So we don't win in this shit. Good luck to Texas and Oklahoma going to the SEC next year. Boy, you playing Iowa State. I'm going to tell you that right now. And Iowa beat Penn State. That was good to see. Like, what's going on at the Big Ten? Iowa's undefeated. Michigan's undefeated. Michigan State's undefeated. Ohio State and Penn State only got one loss. It's about time this conference play starts separating these dudes, man. The separation getting ready to begin with this conference play. I can tell you that shit right now. Them records is looking a little too damn good. It's time to separate and find out who real in the field. I don't know what else is coming up this week. I don't really be paying attention till Saturday because I told y'all the manager got let go. So her supervisor has been doing the schedule and to keep things regular and normal for him. he just keeps the shit the same. Like you gonna have the same days off every week, and that's like the consistency now that I got Sundays and Tuesdays off. So next episode will be on Sunday because we gotta do the NBA preview because the NBA comes back on the 19th next Tuesday, which is gonna be it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be a good thing to see. A couple of things, a couple of NBA tidbits right now. I laugh with the Russell Westbrook with the 15 turnovers, and then he said, "Good thing these don't count." That shit was funny as a bitch. Yo, man, how many times y'all gonna realize Russell don't give a fuck? Now, I need him to get rid of this narrative like he's the underdog and people don't fuck with him. You're wrong, dude. People fuck with you. You're doing legendary shit right now. So I don't even don't take the 10% noise that you hear from critics that say that you trash and all that other shit and let that be, I guess you're trying to use that as your fuel, but you're not the underdog, my nigga. You're not. You was a top 5 pick, multi-time all-star, an MVP in the league, the new Mr. Triple-Double when we thought that shit wasn't going to happen no time soon. Dude, you doing your thing. I'm getting to that one, Paul. That was coming up next. So I need him to get rid of this narrative. And then he got a documentary coming out on Showtime. Man, we don't want to hear that shit. Man, I ain't trying to hear about you talking about how you struggled when you came up. Nigga, you averaged a triple-double. And one thing he said, when somebody was talking about his NBA legacy, he gonna turn around and be upset. This don't define me as a man. Nigga, I need all that shit to stop. It's a little bit, y'all niggas is being a little overly fucking sensitive. Him, the Kwame Brown shit, all that shit. Look, my nigga, we know that you winning in life, okay? You're in the 10th percentile of life, okay? Not everybody makes it to the league. It's a small fraternity of motherfuckers. It's not even enough to be a major city. That's how small this shit is. Like if you come from a town with just 700 people in there, that's a little ass town. So you in a small ass population. Please stop trying to make it seem like when we say you buns, we talking about you in life. No, nigga, because we would easily trade you. Okay, nigga, you make the 10th percentile in the cash and the money. You do this. You 10th percentile in jobs because not everybody can do this shit. When we saying you buns, that shit ain't got nothing to do with your life. We talking about you amongst your peers in your professional field. Cut the shit out, okay? Stop it. Stop trying to make it seem like we hating and all that shit. If you're not performing well, I don't give a fuck what the job is. I'm a cook. And if somebody says my meal is trash, then guess what? I'm a trash ass cook. And the word will find out. If you go to a restaurant and you know who the cook is and your food come out trash, guess what the fuck you gonna say? I mean, that cook was trash, man. That nigga was not it. Shit, I done had better meals at McDonald's, my nigga. Shit, if they got hot fries, it beats that shit easily. So don't sit there and keep trying to make that narrative seem like we just hating you as a human being. No, my nigga. Of course, you could beat us in basketball, nigga. You playing in the NBA, the top league amongst basketball. Nigga, we don't think you trash as a human being or trash as a basketball player. But when we looking at you in the grand scheme of the NBA, yeah, nigga, you lower tier. Like when it comes to Russell, yeah, nigga, we know you're a legend in the game. Your name when you write the book of the NBA's history, we have to put you in there. You have to have a chapter. You go in there right after the Oscar Robertson triple-double shit when we thought shit wasn't going to be matched, and you did that. But as far as winning, no, nigga, no. You're not getting these dubs, my nigga. Plain and fucking simple, okay? I don't mean you trash as a dad. I don't mean you trash as a human being. That means in the game of basketball, you ain't known for winning, my nigga. That's it. And that does take some marks away from your legacy. Now, you do have a legacy, and you are a legend. But, nigga, who you are as a basketball player can be questioned because you didn't get these wins. So build a bridge, get over the bullshit, and get these fucking wins. And when we talking about bullshit, let's take this shit to Ben Simmons. I know I said Kyrie was next, but this just flows with it. Ben, cut this shit out. Cut it out. Now, Kwame Brown gave you good advice telling you to go to, you better go ahead and go to these mandatory things. I want to say he lost. He stands to lose $1 million each day he doesn't go to practice and shit like that. Cut it the fuck out, for real. Once Joel Embiid came out and said, whoa, my nigga, hold up. You trying to say this organization isn't with you? Everything we've done has been because of you. We had Jimmy, and we was doing our thing, and we was a lucky jump shot away from making it to the finals. And you wanted to get rid of this nigga because you wanted the ball? Then the next season, you said, we don't have enough shooters. I can't be the facilitator and things that I need to be. If we don't get no shooters around there, don't worry about me shooting. If we put people around me that can shoot, it can happen. They gave him that. Tell me Danny Green ain't been getting buckets. Tell me Steph Curry was not hooping last year in the playoffs against the Hawks. He was fucking the Hawks up. No, nigga, it's you. It's you in a conference semifinal in a game 7 with 4 points on 2 for 4 shooting. The object of the game is to put the ball in the basket, and you don't want to do it. That's just all it is. I ain't going to say you trash. I ain't going to say you sorry. I ain't going to say you bums. But I am going to say you don't want no fucking buckets, which is the object of the game. And let's be honest. I'm being dead. This is just me. All right? You can't think I'm wilding. You can't think I'm out of hand. All I'm seeing is Dennis Rodman that could pass the basketball. Please, somebody in the chat. It's 6 people in here right now. Please tell me a difference between Ben Simmons and Andre Iguodala. Please. And I'll give it. We at 36 minutes and 42 seconds. I will wait for 37 minutes and 30 seconds. Please, somebody tell me what's the difference between Ben Simmons and Andre Iguodala. Please. I would really like to know. And Andre was not considered no star in the league. Good player, but was never considered no star. We know Iggy will shoot the rock. But as far as the defense facilitating, we know Iggy got a handle. We saw when Iggy dropped Quincy Miller. But look, y'all putting up there. Iggy will shoot the rock. Andre will get buckets. Was he ever considered a superstar? And was it what? Let me look it up now. Where's the phone at? Let's see. Was Andre Iguodala ever an all-star? Andre, I almost put that nigga Tyler. That nigga middle name is Tyler, my nigga. That's how the hell you got that African ass last name and your middle name is Tyler? It's Tyler. Yep, BJ just told me that nigga was a one-time all-star in 2012. Ben is a full-time all-star doing the same shit that Iggy did. Except getting buckets. And stop giving me this narrative about him scoring when we have easily seen players improve on scoring. What do y'all think? Michael Jordan had to turn around in the 80s? No, that came along. That came along the way. Michael Jordan wasn't no jump shooter. Most of them 63 buckets he got against Boston, he was rim running like shit. The likes that 2K has never seen. See, you just said Iggy better than Simmons. Ben Simmons like a 3 or 4 time all-star. Rookie of the year, all that shit. But I'm just saying, we watched it. Kobe, when Eddie Jones got with him, refined that jumper. Come on, man. Kobe in the later years jumper was wet. See? Iggy a finals MVP, and all they could say was, we should have given that shit to Steph. Like, we seen it. I seen Kenny Smith say how he couldn't shoot jump 3-point shooters. He asked Dale Ellis how to shoot, and then he ended up being a 3-point shooter. Kenny Smith before Steph Curry came along, and this was almost 20 years. Damn, glorified Andre Miller. He definitely is, bro. He definitely transportation. But Kenny Smith, what did he have, like 8 threes? Kenny Smith had 8 threes in the finals game. He had the record until Curry came along and shattered it just like the other shit he be shattering. But transportation. But you can't tell me we've watched players get their jump shots better and become better shooters. Matter of fact, we seen players who couldn't shoot still use that shit. What the fuck is Giannis doing? Giannis still ain't a good jump shooter, but he dominate down there on that block. Ben could do the exact same shit. Them niggas is on the same level athletically. He's just a couple inches taller than him. Giannis maybe 7 feet, Ben about 6'10". Shaq, 50% free throw shooter, my nigga, for his career. 55 or something like that. Something up in that range. And he will always be considered one of the most dominant players in the league. So I don't want to hear no more excuses about how good his defense is and all that shit like that, how good he can pass the ball. That nigga don't want no buckets. He ain't improved on how to get no buckets, and he ain't shown it. I was so glad Embiid called his ass out. But like Gilbert Arenas said, the Sixers have been shitting on him. Like Doc said, he ain't the point guard that he can win the championship with. Well, we know that nigga. You won the championship with Rondo. That nigga ain't Rondo. So we already know what it is. We knew that part. And then the franchise already picked Embiid over him. So it's gonna be hard to trade him, especially with the shit that they're looking for. You're not gonna get a superstar in multiple draft picks. No. Not for nobody who don't want to get no buckets. Like, come on, man. You put anybody who couldn't shoot in that situation. He was right under the goal, and this nigga threw a jump pass against Trae Young. And unfortunately, I got caught watching something else on Undisputed. I was watching the results from the fight, which I'm going to speak on in a little bit. I was watching that, and then they snuck that shit in there. Rondo couldn't shoot, but I can guarantee you this. He'll get the bucket if he need to. He was hitting threes when he was with the LA the year they won the chip 2 years ago. And people trying to make him seem like he's still good and he's a franchise-changing player. No, man. Philly made the wrong decision, as they have been making, other than drafting Embiid, and it's going to continue to show. More basketball news. Kyrie still don't want to get the shot. Hey, man, if you don't want to get the shot, that's your prerogative. I ain't got no problem with that. But you know you ain't going to play right. The league has to follow these guidelines, man. They already seen what's going on with the NFL, and they not going. You missed the early rant tease about what I was saying about Gruden. They really want to rant. I was just speaking some factuals from my point of view, but I'm gonna get to the game in a little bit for because I fucked up and did the show and missing 2 weeks. So we getting ready to get into this probably after maybe about 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes. We're gonna get into the NFL show. But Kyrie, man, if you don't want to get the shot, that's up to you. But you have to realize that you cannot play. You probably will get traded. It looks like Durant and Harden have already agreed. Y'all do what y'all got to do. If you don't want to get the shot, he can't be here. Get rid of him. So, and that's your thing, Kyrie. If you want to do that, do that. But I'm telling you this right now. I need you to follow through on this shit. And not just the COVID shot. If you're trying to be this revolutionary and you're trying to speak out and be the whistleblower and all that other shit, I need you going to bat like that for a lot of shit. Well, not a lot of shit. I need you going to bat for that shit for a lot of different topics. Don't be about this life just when it involves this shot. You need to do this shit, period. Like you need to be a part of this shit for real. If you're gonna be out there like that speaking against the shit, then I need you to be out there for real. If I see something happen with black people and you not speaking on it, or you ain't all on your social media saying what need to be done and the results that you want to see, my nigga, I'm gonna think this part was some bullshit. I'm just thinking, I would just be really thinking, yeah, you been saying get rid of him. Yeah, you definitely said that. I want to say you said want to get rid of him because, you know, he was a little injury prone. And he don't usually be finishing out seasons like that. But you did say they should get rid of him. I have to agree with you on that one. Because I can tell you this right now. You could be a revolutionary, Kyrie, and you could be a martyr for change and for justice and shit like that. You ain't going to do that shit in the NBA. That's what I will tell you. Shit, you better see what they did to Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf and all he just did. He just didn't want to stand up for the national anthem. So, my nigga, You're not bigger than the league. I'm sorry. And that's some fucked up shit to say, but it's the truth. So whatever decision you make, man, that's on you. By all means, man, you got my support because as a human, I want you to do what you got to do without hurting other people. I'm pretty sure you got that bag, so your family's straight. And I think Godspeed, brother. So before I get to the football, let's talk about the fight. The Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder 3. The only reason they was doing this shit because Anthony Joshua been ducking Fury. He been ducking both of these motherfuckers for at least a couple of years now. It's been a minute. And the fact that he got his ass whooped a couple weeks ago don't help at all. But I'm going to be honest, it was a good fight. Now, one thing I will gripe about, because I'm a boxing enthusiast, I watch it for the sweet science. It is no way, there is no way that Deontay Wilder should be that damn skinny and have that bad win, man. That nigga ain't have no win. Where's your stamina? Where's your, what is you doing? You can't be out of air like that. If you training to be a boxer, I'm telling you right now, this generation of boxers, I'm telling y'all right now for future reference, this generation of boxers is easily going to make Floyd look even greater in the grand scheme of things. Because how many times have y'all watched these pre-fight shows? And y'all seen people working out? How many people have you seen running the roads like Floyd does? I've seen Oscar do it once. I've seen Canelo do it once. But I've never seen anybody's training habits get mentioned and spoke of like Floyd's. And this right here, because this Deontay Wilder, you already had the physique. You're already better. You're more athletically built to be able to go 12 rounds at the heavyweight division. You should have the advantage. Tyson Fury is a fat, bloated, sauerkraut and bratwurst eating motherfucker, man. That's what I'm saying. Fury has win, but a horrible physique. It made no sense, yo. And like you said, Fury better boxer easy. He was holding turbo. Yo, he was spamming turbo, yo. He didn't have no Gatorade. Get your Gatorade, boy. He ain't had none of that shit. His stamina was trash, bro. Man, it won't number 2 or 3 rounds. Now, I will give him this. The fact that he learned how to throw something other than the right hand, because he was out there throwing body punches and everything. Man, if he can get it in his mind that, maybe he should do this more often and actually run a couple miles and learn how to do defense and shit like that. Do you know how dangerous this man? He said Fury built like a deacon. And the Black to beat the Falcons. The Washington football team defense isn't as good as I thought it was going to be. Tyler Heineke, I put him a little right. I'm going to have to say he a game manager because when he's on, he's all right. But if he got to come back in the game, that's when shit get bad. That's when it get drastic. When the team goes down points and he got to rally to get these dubs, man, he don't be looking good like that. And I'll be honest, man, I don't give a fuck about Atlanta no more, man. Who gives a shit? Y'all shit to bed. And I give – yeah, that's what I say. He's a serviceable game manager, which would be even better if he had some more weapons. I mean, McLaurin's real nice. And Thomas is coming into his own, but do we give a fuck about that? Yeah, see, my boy Owen here, he's a Washington fan. But yeah, it's hard to be serviceable when your team giving up 30 buckets a game, man. That money is too tough. The Bills beat the hell out of the Texans. The Bears beat the Lions. It probably won't be too much commentary on what happened in week 4 because we just had a fresh weekend and a lot of different stories is trying to, starting to, come about now. The Colts beat the Dolphins. The Dolphins are just down bad, man. Once I saw Tua get hurt, I knew that year was getting ready to be a wash. The Browns beat the Vikings. I got some shit to say about them. Let me see what else was going on. we got our ass whooped on Monday Night Football, and I knew what was up. Because we played the Chargers well in the first half. When we got a sack on him early on Herbert, he was a little rattled for the rest of the second quarter. And then in the second half, they shored up the line, and he slowly gained his confidence back. Joey Bosa said something stupid. We got in Carr's face, and he couldn't handle the pressure. Nigga, ain't no quarterback handle pressure, man. It's very different. There's very few quarterbacks that can handle the rush like that. And most that can are of the darker variety. They have the ability to run. Any of your standstill pocket passers, man, we seen Tom Brady lose games because he couldn't handle that front four. The Giants gave him hell 2 games in the Super Bowl. Same thing with the Rams. Aaron Donald won't even get. I can't even recall him getting sacks, but they applied so much pressure, they fucked that whole game plan up. Let me see what else. Was it a game that was mentionable? Yeah, that's what I wanted to speak on. The Titans, man. The fuck are y'all doing? These niggas lost to the Jets. Yuck. But one thing I have realized while just doing this right now, I can't be skipping a week. I got to go week to week because I really don't give a fuck about week 4 because so much shit happened in week 5 that I have to get on it. So we won't be skipping. I won't be skipping weeks no more. I'll be here on Sunday to talk about shit for real, for real. Now, see, it won't be no need because, yeah, it'll work out fine if I do it on Sunday or Tuesday. But I'm going to do the show on Sunday. The Rams beat the Seahawks Thursday. Poor Seahawks. Russell got hurt. His finger fucked up. He's going to miss a few weeks. So they're going to be missing a few weeks on the winning side of football. So that right there, I'm sorry. That could be the end of the year. By the time they get back, it may be unsalvageable because the division they play in is so fucking tough. And the Rams and the Cardinals have been playing so well. I will get on them later. Get on the Cardinals later. The Rams looking good. Now, I mean, they took a loss to – who did they lose to? They lost to the Seahawks the week before. And with 17 games being played this year, you're going to have some hiccups. I mean, there's a hiccup all the time. I mean, there's only been one team who went wire undefeated. Shout out to the 72 Dolphins. So there's going to be some losses. So don't be surprised. It's only when you start to take a lot of consecutive losses should you be concerned. I'm turning to the side because I got a dog over here walking around the places his ass ain't supposed to be. All right, next is the Jets and the Falcons. And the who the fuck cares game of the week. I don't give a fuck. The Falcons, call me when y'all get rid of Matt Ryan. And the Jets, call me when y'all get a real weapon because Zach Wilson don't stand a chance in these streets. Next, we have the the no senior game of the week, a.k.a. the Doink Bowl with the Packers and the Bengals missing 5 field goals / extra points. It was like neither one of them teams wanted to win. But that's crazy. Like, this is like, I was talking to the homie O'Neal Dose. I was talking to him yesterday, and I was like, this has been a real weird year for football already, 5 games in. It's just been real weird. Has anybody else felt that way? This year feels a lot different. Like, last year was different because, the COVID and the pandemic and no fans, and they had stadium DJs playing crowd noise with no crowd. So we already know what it is. But this year, it just feels real weird. Like, teams are losing to teams like they really shouldn't be losing to. And then you have a team like the Packers got their ass whooped in week 1. They got fucked up by the Saints in week 1. But then turn around last week, the Saints lost to the fucking Giants. Like, it's so confusing, man. I don't know, man. Like, what's his name? With Jameis Winston, he's such a roller coaster ride, man. God damn, I really couldn't deal with that, man. You can't look MVP caliber one week and look buns the next, man. And that shit is crazy. Good luck to y'all with that one, boy. But the Packers are 4-1 right now. Yeah, that's what. Matter of fact, B, I need you to put that should be your thing, yo. Every time somebody lose that ain't got no business losing, you should put Stranger Things type season hashtag Stranger Things season. The Bengals, they playing hard. I give them that. They look like they get those young up and coming teams that got to learn how to get these wins on a consistent basis. That's where they're at. The Vikings beat the Lions in a close one because division games are always. My dad taught me this early. Division games, records don't fucking matter for real, because you never know. It don't even matter what happened in the game previously. You can kick the shit out of a division rival one game, but let it be the last game, and you need to win again in the playoffs. They will play the most amazing football they've played all year just to keep you out of the playoffs. So that division game was crazy. Steelers beat the Broncos. Boy, the Broncos is sinking. When they was 3-0, and Teddy Two Gloves still look good, but the defense just, what the fuck was wrong? Where were y'all at? Because, look, Big Ben couldn't get no buckets on the Raiders, and our defense is buns, my nigga. Outside of Max Crosby, that's it. We don't have shit else for real. You can say Abrams is all right, but Abrams ain't nothing but another serviceable linebacker. He can't stop none of these passes. And I just watched Justin Herbert pick us the fuck apart. Now, the Cowboys defense was trash last year, but this year they've had, got better pieces, and they held them to like 17 points. And they got the win. Herbert fucked us up. So our defense is not that good. Broncos defense better than us, and they couldn't stop old ass Big Ben. Well, number one, they actually ran the ball. Najee Harris had 25 carries and a couple of passes out the back. I don't know why they don't use him like Le'Veon Bell, which I thought they were going to do when they drafted him. Stop being stupid. Use him for what the fuck you were supposed to. It's the exact same running back, man. Stop overthinking this shit. Ben ain't got that many years left, and y'all don't have a replacement set either. So hurry up before shit gets real bad. It looks like it may become a time where Pittsburgh gonna be ass for a couple of years. The Bucks beat the Dolphins. I already told y'all the Dolphins won't do shit. And if you ain't coming to play Tampa Bay prepared, be prepared to get your ass whooped. It was so bad at one play when Mike Evans caught that bomb, and when Tom Brady threw the ball, the announcer said, "Uh-oh." And like, nigga, I've never heard nothing like that before. Like, you would hear somebody say something like maybe somebody got hurt and they still laying on the ground, and he'd be like, "Oh no." Oh man, like a bad tackle. But when the quarterback throws the ball in the air and he said, "Uh-oh," like, yeah, come on, man. He knew he got beat like that. He knew it was over. So it ain't no need to even, the Bucks out of Bucks. We know what it is. The Saints beat Washington. Washington defense giving up a whole bunch of points. They gave up a Hail Mary in the first half. And the game was still close, but I really started losing hope for Washington after that. I'm going to be honest right now. From now on, when we mention teams that's not good, I got to shout out my friends who unfortunately root for these teams. So the Lions, I'm sorry, Slide. This buzz for you, man. You really shouldn't have to go through this, man, but you are, man. I'm sorry. Washington, I'm sorry, O'Neal. I'm sorry, Dose. You're my best friend. Much love to you, man. You don't have to be witnessing to this. The Eagles beat the Panthers. It looks like the Panthers are falling back to earth. After winning the first 3 games very nicely and showing that they, there's some talent there. They got a good defense and all that stuff. And Sam Darnold looked like not a bust. Might have the tables have turned in just 2 weeks. Shout out to the Eagles for getting that win. And, what's his name? Jalen Hurts. Showing even with bad play calling, he's still able to make some things happen, man. I'm going to have to give it. Sirianni, what's his name? Nick, let me see where he come from. Because this seems like a type of coach that let me see what tree did he come from? Because, they usually come from somebody. Oh, he's an Andy Reid disciple. Oh, yeah. See, and this is what one of these issues. This is what's going on. One thing that's going to be constant with this podcast is me calling out motherfuckers for this racist shit. This guy here really don't have that great of a resume. Before he was Philly's coach, he was the offensive coordinator for the Colts. They were all right, but they weren't like they had that high-powered, oh my God, 35-point a game offense. And he had Phillip Rivers. I mean, it helps if you got a good quarterback that's a veteran leading your offense, and they got weapons and shit. I mean, he got a job. But when it comes to Eric Bieniemy, well, he doesn't call plays, and he's just a coordinator. He just stands there over the cut. Now, all of a sudden, it's not about if you could actually, it's not about you being a disciple of somebody. All of a sudden, when Eric Bieniemy is up for a job, y'all say, well, Andy Reid's calling the plays. Bitch, he been calling the plays. He been calling the plays since he was the offensive coordinator at Green Bay. So, cut it the fuck out. I hope he take the USC job among anything. And not just because Prince is a big USC fan and my homie Dane, rest in peace, was a USC fan. I would much rather he deal with that than this bullshit in the NFL. Because I can tell you this right now. They'll set your ass up. And I'm going to tell you about a setup that's happening right now that nobody's really paying attention to. The Titans beat the Jaguars. Urban Meyer. For the 5 people that's been in here, and for those who may watch later, I've been telling y'all since the summer, he's going to get fired. This nigga is federally fucking up. When the news first came out that he got caught with a girl dancing on him, I already knew. And the way he was talking, it was like she was dancing while he was sitting down. Not a full twerk session, but, definitely, some flirtatious dancing going on. When the video came out and this nigga was grabbing pussy and everything, I said, I'm not surprised at all. This nigga is a federal fuck up. And I knew this shit was going to happen. I've been telling y'all all year that this nigga is going to get fired. He's either going to quit or he's going to get fired. I told y'all I would be thoroughly surprised if he makes it through the season. Now I'd be thoroughly surprised if he makes it halfway through the season. No offense to the guy. One of the greatest college football coaches of all time and one of the greatest minds. But that nigga is a trash-ass individual, my nigga. I knew he won't shit when he quit on Florida talking about I want to spend more time with my family. And as soon as he found a better opportunity where he knew he could win instantly, he went to Ohio State like a year after being out of Florida. Man, he don't give a fuck about that family for real. Cut that bullshit out. And I'm not trying to say that he don't give a fuck about the family. I'm saying don't use that fucking excuse when you know that wasn't what it was, nigga. You left because Tebow was gone and everybody was going to get on your ass. Everybody gets their revenge, okay? If you've been whooping ass for a time period, just as life has to do, shit will change. I'm telling you. The Lakers was fucking shit up in the 80s. In the 90s, they was getting their ass whooped. Everybody was getting revenge on them niggas. Thank God Kobe came into his own and made it happen. Because there was one time them niggas had 4 All-Stars and won't even make it into the conference finals. It's going to happen every time. You see how bad Chicago been? New England is getting ready to, oh, man. Oh, man, it's getting ugly over there in New England, man, and it's going to get uglier. I'm telling you, each dynasty. You see how bad Miami is? Remember how hot we started off the decade? Look where we at now. Remember Florida State? They went like 20 years with 20 years in a row. 20 years in a row finishing in the top 10. Boy, they can damn near score 10 points nowadays. I'm telling you right now, the shit changes. And you will find this. Oh, the real will be back. Remember I said earlier the Dolphins were the only undefeated season? Don't they look like stir-fried shit right about now? As the world turns, like the soap opera, my nigga, hey, you gonna be hot, but only for a time being, my nigga. Hey, you better hope it lasts like Tom Brady shit does. Telling you right now, the Yankees was the shit in the early 2000s, won't they? Boston got their ass up out the paint last week, didn't it? I'm telling you right now, the real gets back, my nigga. Reality will always set in. Shit. The Titans, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with them. That's a part of the Stranger Things type season that we talking about. Because once I saw they picked up Julio, I was like, oh, we can put them in conversation with the Chiefs. Well, I'll get on later. And Baltimore and all them other guys is one of the one of the elites in the AFC. Not no more. Not right now. I'll put it that way because it's still early. It's early as shit. Well, they got 5 games in. They still got 12 more games to play, y'all. 12 more games. Next is the Patriots beating the Texans. For those who don't know, the Texans got a black coach. And for anybody to accept this job, you already knew Deshaun Watson won't play, and they've gotten rid of every good player. They got rid of every asset they possibly could. That's how bad it is for a black coach. You willing to take a job, you know you're going to get fired from. Because he has no chance of winning. When Tyrod got hurt, it was the hope of him having the future too. But good win by the Patriots. I mean, y'all still got a good defense. Belichick's still out there doing his thing. Because they only got 22 points, and this should have been a lot more because Mills was firing iron on y'all ass. He had 300 and I want to say 3 touchdowns. So it could have been worse. Yeah, he threw for 312 and 3 touchdowns, but no picks. But sometimes you. Oh yeah, they better be glad they getting these twos and fews right now because they still 2-3, and you had to climb uphill just to beat the damn. You had to climb uphill just to beat the damn Titans. So we already know what it is. Next game, the Raiders lost to the Bears. Oh man! First of all, I'm sorry, Bears, that Montgomery got hurt. He was a hell of a running back, and the coach won't use him like that at all. And this just shows how trash our defense is. Fields only threw for 111 yards. They beat us strictly by running. 37 rushes to 21 passes. They had more rushing yards than passing yards, and they was only averaging 3.9 yards a rush. It just shows you how ass our defense is. Of course, Khalil Mack got his sack, which I knew he would get against us. And for those of you who thought he had fallen off just because he only had 9 sacks last year, don't forget he was top 5 in tackles for loss last year. And with him doing that leads to other people like Gibson getting the sack and other players getting tackles for loss. So it ain't no need for me to keep saying we fucked up by getting rid of him. The proof is in the viewing. My nigga. Carr looked like and the Bears actually do have a defense. So I knew it was going to be tough money for us. And we're dealing with a coach that we knew was going to get fired. So I'm telling you right now, the hope shit was gone a long time ago. And let me just preface it with this. I'm always be a Raider fan, win, lose, or draw, to the death. But I'm a football fan first. So the reality of the situation will always outweigh what the team is. Y'all want to know why I don't get hype or get excited or be amped for my squad? Because I know this team. I watched this team. I know the coach. I know what it is already. That's why I can't. Now, if I was a part of another squad, like if I was a Rams fan, shit, of course, nigga, because they have the pieces that would be conducive to me, being a little chipper about shit. So, that's what it is. That's why. It could be anything. Bills fans, shout out to Chuck Moe because they've been struggling like shit since Jim Kelly left the franchise. So, but I already know. I know the team. We do not have enough talent on defense to scare any team. And offensively, when you get rid of 3 linemen that were previously Pro Bowlers and you just fill them in with whoever, that can't be a good look. That can't be a good look. Next, we have the Chargers over the Browns. The Chargers offensively could make a move, could make a run. They have an offense that's strong enough. Gibson will definitely grow into a problem because of the defense. There's so much talent on y'all defense, and it looked like y'all coordinator is kind of, the wheels is kind of turning, and he's starting to get a better understanding of what he has and what he can do with these players. Because if you notice, you done kept Eddie Jackson ass back deep. You done kept him over the top. learning this lesson. And how many times did y'all get beat us? Beat one time. We only scored 9 points because he's learning. He already knew he fucked up early in the year. He said, "No, I don't need to keep him in the box. I need to keep him over the top." So that's what that is. But back to the Chargers. They got buckets. That was probably like the best game this week. Browns Chargers was a hell of a game, a contest of no other. If being in the ring, you can only be like, yeah, we got to win. Let's see about next week. Yeah, a loss, kind of not. Yeah, that's how I've been playing it. And shout out to Tease up here, Bad News Birdman. That's a real good friend of mine. And he texts me whenever we're playing, whenever we're doing well, and I respect it. And I like it because you want me to be hyped about that because you want my team to do well, even though it's not your team too. So I always respect it. I got mad love for you for it. But I know the reality of that squad, man. I know the truth about that team. From players to coaches to personnel, I know we don't have it. I just know we don't. We're not drafting well. I ain't been excited about a draft pick in a while. We had some decent ones because I like Josh Jacobs. But outside of that, I couldn't even tell you. But back to now, I'm not going to make this a constant thing that's going to always happen. But I'm going to tell you this right now. I need these Baker Mayfield commercials to tone. I need y'all to tone that shit down. Because the dude is good. The dude is all right. He do his thing. But the Chargers gave him the ball with a minute and some change left. And he didn't do shit. I don't even think they got past the 50. I'm telling you, when the game is on the line and the ball is in his hands, he don't do shit. I'm telling you right now. He's game manager plus. Serviceable at best, my nigga. I'm not playing with y'all right now. Because the shit happened. When they played the Vikings the week before, he only had 14. Now they beat the Bears, but let's take a look. See, they beat the Bears. Let's check the box score. He had 246 and a touchdown. So he had 246 yards and one touchdown. They had 215 yards on the ground. With Hunt averaging 8 yards a carry. So, I mean, come on, man. Man, you're not going to keep sitting up here and telling me he's top-tier quarterback, my nigga, when I can easily go through and name quarterbacks that I find clearly better than him. Let's take a look. Let's just go through the schedule that we're looking at. The Rams, Stafford, yes. The Seahawks, Russell, yes. The Packers, A-Rod, yes. The Bengals, I said Seahawks, Rams, Packers, Bengals. That's 4 right there. The Vikings, Cousins, yes. And I don't even like Kirk Cousins like that. Teddy, 2 gloves, yes. Big Ben, yes. The Dolphins ain't got no quarterback right now. The Buccaneers, that's easy. The Saints, I'll take Famous Jameis before that nigga. No, I can't take Heineke before him. I'll take Hurts before him. I won't take Donald. I'll take Tannehill. I'll be honest. I'll be in the little homers right now. I'll take Lawrence over that nigga. That Mac Jones and Mills. But if they got Tyrod, I'll take Tyrod over. Fields, I'll take Fields over. I'll take Carr over him. I'll take Herbert. I'll take Dak. I'll take Trey Lance and Jimmy G. And I'll take little Kyler Murray. I'll take Lamar, Josh Allen, and Mahomes. That's 23 quarterbacks I just named, yo. That's 23 quarterbacks I just named that I'll take it over him. And give it you 3 or 4, I don't think y'all will disagree. But I'm tired of y'all telling me how good this dude is, and all I see is mediocrity when he get out on the field. He wasn't the reason why they scored 42 points. I can tell you that right now. Number 1, the Chargers defense ain't all that. And number 2, he has the best run game in the league. Nick Chubb is a monster. The Cleveland Browns are playing like it's 1993. But across from him, Herbert firing that iron. I can tell you this right now. I didn't think Herbert would be this good. I didn't think he was going to be trash, but that's all that's it. He's the best the Browns seen in a long time. Shit, I'll take Kelly Holcomb before I take this nigga. Kelly Holcomb got a playoff. Kelly Holcomb almost won a playoff game against Pittsburgh back in 2003 when Pittsburgh was killing him. And they got Hunt back there too doing this thing. So, yeah, man, come on, man. Y'all got to cut this out, man. Because Herbert firing iron. Herbert hot. That hand is on fire. He in a position right now where you got to play him like Brady and shit. Where you got to run the ball. You got to slow shit down. You got to let them hands cool off on the sideline. You just can't keep putting him back out there. Yeah, he's very mediocre. And Herbert is nice. You know what it was? I wanted to doubt him coming in because, he was good at Oregon, but you never know. No. Nick Chubb is lit. Kareem Hunt is lit. Myles Garrett is lit. The other Nick, Baker Mayfield, ain't lit. He all right. But I'm just saying, like, with Herbert, the situations that he fell in, I like it. That's why I've never been able to really, like, particularly doubt him. I said, oh, he going to the Chargers. He got Gordon. I mean, he gone now, but, that's a good piece. Austin Eckler is good in the run and the pass. They got rid of Hunter Henry, but, Mike Williams is the most dangerous deep threat in the league, top 5. He's always catching passes 20 yards down the field and stuff like that. Keenan Allen, one of the best wide receivers in the league. So, he got Parham out there. I don't even know who that was, but he making a name because Herbert giving him the ball. So, I mean, they're going to have to do some cleaning up on defense because, when they play good teams like this, it probably will be a shootout overall. Cowboys beat the Giants. I've been watching the shows, The Undisputed, the shit with Nick Wright and First Take. And the only reason I was watching – Hold up. I'm going to get to them in a second because they'll probably be like there. I'm going to get to them teams. There's about 2 more games left, about 2 more games before them. So let me go ahead and get that first, and I'm gonna speak on home. But they was each jump, First Take, the Nick Wright jump, Undisputed, they were talking about how they thought this Dallas game was going to be close. Who told y'all that? Who told y'all that? Y'all thought the Giants was good just because they beat the Saints the week before? They still 1-3. So I wasn't worried about the Giants at all. It was good to see that Kadarius Toney was showing out and all of that. But I just knew one was Dallas. The real problem with Dallas is they haven't even played a complete game yet. They still be out there fucking up on offense, turning the ball over. But their offense is so fucking explosive, man. They can just get right back in the game like it ain't shit. I don't even recall the Romo years being this dominant of an offense for real. Because, man, they just crazy. They just clicking on all cylinders. Once again, Kellen Moore, you're not going to be with the Cowboys next year. You might be coming to us for real. He might be the Raiders' next coach. But the way that offense is clicking right now, and they just got enough defense to get enough stops where they can go up 2 scores on you, and then you got to play catch up. But I'm telling you, man, I would, this early in the season, Cowboys fans got something to brag about. Now, granted, 12 more games to play, and we'll never know what happens. So, right now, they're doing their thing. The Cardinals beat the Niners. You know what? I don't see this as a bad loss for the Niners. I see this as a bad loss for Kyle Shanahan. The same thing is, man, this is starting to get on my nerves. This is really starting to get on my fucking nerves, man. And I hate to keep punching the shit out of a dead horse, but why is the offense so fucking close-minded when it comes to these black QBs, man? Like, come on, man. It's plays where Ayuk and Debo ain't even on the field. Like, what the fuck are you doing? He needs all the weapons he needs. Kittle ain't out there. Why are you picking and choosing when to use check, knowing how valuable he is as a receiver out of the backfield? Like Kyle Shanahan, man. Yeah, man, I'm tired of people saying how good you are offensively. Nigga, you close-minded and you acting like you don't know what the fuck you doing with these keys to this Ferrari, which is Trey Lance. The defense was already helping you. And for those who didn't know, DeMeco Ryans, the tackling motherfucker from the Texans, is the defensive coordinator at the Niners. Hey, man, he held the Cardinals to 17 points. You know how tough that is? With that motherfucking explosive offense, I'm telling you right now, when you put these weapons around these dangerous-ass black quarterbacks, the Cardinals is what happens. This thing got D-Hop. He got A.J. Green, Like, they don't even need him for real. But he can make a guest appearance. Rondell Moore, Christian Kirk, Connor, Edmonds out the back. Like, they have so many weapons, man. I'm telling you right now, it could be offenses in Chicago, San Francisco, and as we got to see the other night, Baltimore can be dangerous if you stop fucking playing and invest in these black quarterbacks like you do the other ones. You hear how I said how good Justin Herbert got it right now? There ain't no other black quarterback but Kyler Murray doing that shit. And I ain't counting Kermit because he got Andy Reid. It is different. You're not gonna go into no Andy Reid offense without weapons for it. So that we don't even consider that. Yeah, Ken, Diggs is an issue. And when I saw him fall in the second round and the Raiders didn't pick, you know what the worst part about being a Raider fan is? And I'm telling you right now, this is one thing that really gets on my nerve as a Raider fan, because I thoroughly watch football. And there's people in here who's known me for a long time, more than 10 years. They know I follow college sports. And I have suggestions on who this team should be picking. Not just because I like the player. I think the player can help in ways that we need to be a better football team. When I watched us draft Derwin James, my nigga, I said, this sets us back because you need that playmaking all over the field type safety. Yeah, they gave up 42 points for the Cleveland Browns. They came in clutch when they needed it on that last drive in a minute. He had double-digit tackles and a sack, and he was all over the field. Trayvon Diggs, somebody that fell to the second round. I said, oh, shit, he done fell this far? This might have been a year we had more than one pick. Let's go ahead and get Diggs. We need a corner. He just as athletic as his brother, and he did his thing at Bama. We ain't pick him either. So I'm going to just go on here. We're going to go. The Cardinals, they doing their thing. The Niners open up the playbook and stop bullshitting. The Bills, I thought the Bills was good. The Bills right now, after the first 5 games, is the team of the AFC. Yeah, they had a bad loss against, what's the name of them boys? They had a bad loss against Pittsburgh in week 1. But ever since then, they ain't been bullshit. Because I know a lot of people will say, well, they lost to Pittsburgh. Every team that got one loss got a bad loss. Okay? Dallas. That week 1 loss was a bad loss. Y'all should have won. But y'all had all them goddamn turnovers. And Tampa Bay was trying to give you the game for you to take a double-digit point lead. And you didn't take that opportunity. And you left time on the clock with fucking Tom Terrific. That's y'all fault. That's y'all fault as a team for doing that shit. That's not no. Now, if you would have did that, left that minute and some change on the clock, and Joe Burrow would have did the shit, and that would be excusable. You didn't know Joe was going to do it. But Tom fucking Terrific, can't leave no time on the clock with Tom Terrific, man. Goddamn well you're going to lose. Y'all lost, but hey, that's just one, man. Everybody else, hey, you beat the Buccaneers easily. You handled the Bucs. Every team got a bad loss up here. Shit, even the Raiders at 3-2, it was no way with no Tua that we shouldn't win in the overtime with the Dolphins. No fucking way. But we did that shit. We did. Let's not forget, Green Bay only got 1 loss, and they got their ass whooped week 1. They looked horrible. They probably amongst the 1-loss teams took the worst slug of them all. Now they got A-Rod on the sideline smiling, but the Bills doing their thing. And this ain't about them. I mean, they think he lit because he hurdled the dude, and he's playing great football teams. Josh Allen doing this thing. That's why I laughed at you when you thought Trubisky said he was going to contribute. Not after they gave one day when he got that bag, I knew something was up. I said, yeah. When I watched last year, I said Josh Allen fucking around and getting it because I ain't had no hope in this nigga. I ain't gonna lie because he was like a 54% completion percentage in college at Wyoming. He ain't playing nobody good. Why the fuck is your fucking completion percentage that goddamn low, man? But they showed properly building around some talent. It can happen. You can do your thing because they got weapons. Emmanuel Sanders is showing out. Stephon Diggs, the deep threat. Cole Beasley. Cole Beasley ain't even do a whole lot this last game. That just shows you how good this offense is. Dawson Knox showing out. But the real issue is, I can tell you right now, we know what's wrong with Kansas City. We already know. that line isn't going to hold up right now because it just got together and it's still starting to gel. That defense is trash. People, this is how I know people don't be watching football. Did you see all the memes and the pictures of how bad Sorensen was getting burnt against the Bills on Sunday night? Do y'all know he was that sorry that year that they even won the fucking Super Bowl, right? Sorensen been ass the whole time, and he is the most untalented defensive player probably starting in the NFL. He is complete cheeks. He ain't got no business starting. None. He is ass. Of course, he got beat deep on the pass. It's been happening since he's been there for a couple of years now. And until they start to invest in the defensive backfield like they do the offense, I don't see them coming back from this. Not coming back to be like a Super Bowl. That's what I'm going in. They could easily rip off 5 wins just off the arm of Kermit, the quarterback, and the feet of Tyreek Hill and the hands of Kelsey. They can definitely get these dubs back up. So I ain't worried about it. And they should be playing the Raiders soon. So that should be a win on the docket for the Raiders. So I'm not saying that they trash. They just not playing well right now. And they're depending on the dude who's completely a witness to everything that's going on the other team. So, but I think that is what I can say with this offense, they can write this shit. And the last game was the Ravens over the Colts. The Colts was up 25-9, and Baltimore did something simply amazing. Remember last week when I told y'all that they should, really consider running a spread offense like Lamar ran at Louisville so you can get the best out of them? How amazing was that? He threw for 400 yards, and you guys came back. Do you know how explosive your offense could be if you do that from the opening kickoff? I'm not just talking shit because I'm an idiot. I'm just not talking shit because I have a mouth. I'm going to get real cocky right now. I know football. There's no doubt about it. And there's no doubt about it. I know football. And I know some shit that could work. Or some shit that you at least should consider because it could possibly work. How did you think he won the Heisman, huh? Because he had great wheels? Because he could run? He was fast? Quick feet? Willie Beeman? No. Because he could fire that fucking iron. Because I already knew that Lamar might be one of the most dangerous throwing and running quarterbacks we've seen in a long fucking time. Now, Vic was dangerous on the feet. And he had a cannon for an arm, but he couldn't systematically break you down with the arm. This guy can. Shit, they 4-1. Shit, Wentz looked good, didn't he? I ain't even gonna lie. I mean, no offense, he snapped both ankles in the first game of the week and still been playing. There was some real Jim Kelly shit going on this week too. Because for those who remember, Jim Kelly got knocked out of game, and they thought it was over for him, and they was taking him in the hospital. But this motherfucker came back and still played football after having a concussion. Carr did that shit the other day too. That might be. I wouldn't be surprised. If you got Derek Carr on your fantasy team, get that nigga out of there. Because Roquan Smith clearly knocked him the fuck out. And he came back out there and played. I'm telling you right now, that nigga think he Batman right now. You better get him off your fantasy team. I'm telling you right now. He gonna sell you. He gonna fuck up your games. You're not gonna get no more than 12 points from this dude. If that. He's still fucked up. I'm telling you right now. I don't know who we play. Let me see who we play next week. I can tell you this right now. I don't have no confidence in us. When to see somebody get knocked out and they go right back in the game. Oh, man. Because, it's supposed to be concussion protocol and all that stuff. You ain't supposed to be letting nobody that clearly got knocked out. Like, I'm going to put it this way. He got fucked up so bad, I was surprised that he walked off the field on his own power. Oh, man, we play Denver next, and they just lost $5 million getting ready to fuck us up. So so I'm telling you already, you better get that money off. Better get them off your fantasy team. But, I mean, Wentz looked good, man. Shout out to him. He did all right, man. Baltimore, they got too many injuries to even compete with anybody right now. But shout out to Lamar, man. Oh, yo, man, that's going to be the thing for this week. Open up the playbooks, man, and let these dudes shine. That don't make no sense. Don't make no sense at all. How is it that you got a quarterback and you won't throw the ball deep? Now, sometimes you may have an excuse to why you don't throw the ball deep. Maybe you have Chad Pennington at quarterback. And for those who know Chad Pennington, know this motherfucker had the weakest arm I've ever seen for a starting quarterback. He could not throw past 25 yards. But guess what? That was a winning motherfucker. I'm going to tell you that right now. He was a winner. Chad Pennington used to get them dubs. Yeah, we got to deal with that vintage. They still mad that they let Big Ben old ass do them like that. So him and Bradley Chubb coming forward. I think the one thing that Denver's defense is missing is a good linebacker. Like if they had a Shaq Thompson out there, they'd be real dangerous. They're a linebacker away from being a real problem on the defensive side. Shout out to the playbooks. I mean, everybody got a good extensive playbook. I've seen some NFL playbooks. They big as a motherfucker. But you can clearly see from Sunday to Sunday, some of these teams, they ain't opening that binder. They're using the first shit that's in the flat. When you don't go beyond the dividers, my nigga, because you got the dividers to let you know the difference, man, they ain't going outside that shit. They sending Fields and Lance and any other of these young black quarterbacks. They sending them out there with the Techno Bowl playbook. 8 plays, my nigga. 8 plays. You got 4 runs and 4 passes. And sometimes we'll mix them together because we got the RPO shit going on right now. But they don't even use those for real. So, man, I mean, that's what I'm going to start calling that shit. The Bears and the 49ers with 2 dudes that was considered they was considered offensive forward-thinking guys, Shanahan and Nagy. They were praised for their offensive minds. Y'all out here with the Tecmo Bowl playbooks. Interesting. So that's what we got for this week. Man, I appreciate y'all being here. Hour and 30 minutes. I told you, man, I don't need no filler, man. We can do this shit all day. I can give y'all another 2 hours if I wanted to. We can talk all types of shit. I ain't even talk about how I got Martin Payne for the first time in my life. I'm gonna say that for next Friday. I really had somebody kick me out of their crib on Saturday after having a good time at the crib. Man, I can't wait to tell y'all that one on Sunday. But man, I appreciate y'all being here, man. Sticking up the whole time, commentating in there, man. Leave some comments in the comment section. Hit that like button, man. Shout out to the Tecmo Bowl playbook callers. Pops, if you're watching, I got your headband. I'm gonna give it to you on Sunday. Because I'm gonna record this. Them niggas say NFL Game Day 99 989 Sports. Oh man, I'm telling y'all right now, man. I love doing this shit. I really do. Picking up the cam was one of the best ideas. Shout out to Survive Grounds for making me do this, man. Because I really enjoy this shit. And I don't really care how many people view. I know it ain't no more than about actually maybe 20 people. I'm gonna tell y'all this right now. If you see my shit got like 60 or 70 views, I'm doing all the clicking on that shit. I'm not gonna lie to you. Hold up. Ain't nothing worse than a phone call from a place you know damn well you don't know nobody from and you know it's some bullshit. But like I said, man, I really enjoy this shit. I'm gonna continue to keep doing it, man. And as long as shit keep happening in the world as it always has been doing before I was here and after I get out there, shout out S. Brown. Shannon Brown. Man, did y'all see that nigga? That nigga look like he on dope. But make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate all the love. I'm gonna catch y'all back next Sunday for the NBA preview. I got y'all. And I may have some sauce where I may do the NBA preview on Sunday and talk about these games on Tuesday. Sensational. Look, man, my homie just joined the shit when we getting ready to end and shit like that. But I talk to this nigga all the time. But I'll catch y'all on Sunday, man. Appreciate it. Much love to all of y'all, man. Be easy.